So as a tech startup founder, you're probably asking yourself a lot of questions, like how are you going to have enough gas in the tank, enough oxygen to help you accelerate and grow your venture over the next 12 to 18 months? How are you going to get this without giving up what you really care about, the creative control, the financial control? There's a lot of players out there. Who can you trust to give you the actionable, practical advice that is necessary to get to where you want to go? Who's real? Who's really on your side of the table? And who's really looking out for your best interest? Being a startup founder today is not that different from what people did more than 100 years ago when they had a big dream and a vision. Ernest Shackleton, the famous explorer, in order to attract people to join him on the journey, placed an ad in a London newspaper. And the ad read as follows: "Men wanted for hazardous journey, low wages, bitter cold, long hours of complete darkness, safe return, doubtful, honor, and recognition in the event of success." Does that sound familiar to you? Does that sound like your life? You're a visionary, you're creative and passionate and tenacious. You're willing to take calculated risks. You've been able to attract the nucleus of a team to help you get where you are today, but you know you need more. You need more capital and more resources in order to get to the North Pole. But you know that you probably don't have what it's going to take to succeed, because you know that there are others elsewhere that have more resources and bigger teams. And it's nagging on you because you realize that it's quite possible that not only are there other startups that are competing with you, there's the big tech companies who have what appears to be unlimited resources, the Googles, the Facebooks, the Amazon. And if they're going to release something that has what you're doing as a free feature, the whole market opportunity is going to go up in air. So it's a race. And it's starting to impact your life in ways that maybe aren't that healthy. And it's starting to impair some of your personal relationships with your romantic partner or with your family. They're starting to think that this is all that you ever think about. And if you're not there yet, you might be soon. And so you know that in order to get to where you want to go, you need to make a change. You need to figure out how to get to a healthier place. So what you want, frankly, is to get your life back, not just for you, but for everyone on the team. So what is it that you want? I mean, what is the ideal state, the city on the hill, this employer of choice that you're trying to get to? The ideal state would be a situation where you have enough gas in the tank to be able to attract, retain, and motivate the very best and brightest people. People want to work for your company because your company is innovative and your company is cool and your company has a good work-life balance and a culture, and you've become the place that everyone wants to work for. And the thing is that those companies exist in every city and every country, some more than others. And so if you can become that company in your city, then people don't have to move to London or Berlin or Silicon Valley. They can stay right where they are, close to their friends and family, and be the person they want to be and build the products that change the world. The question is, how are you going to build it? How are you going to make it real? The reality is that in order to get to that ideal state, you're going to probably need other people's money. That money is out there. It exists. The only question is, how are you going to get it? There's pools of capital and talent and expertise all over the world. And maybe that's not where you live. Maybe you're in a place where you don't have access to that. So you know you want to build this ideal state. And the question is, what are the foundational building blocks to help you create it? There's lots of different ways that you can do it. There's lots of different sources of capital. There's friends, family, and fools. There's angels who are really smart and sophisticated and want to be involved. There's other angels that are passive, aren't going to ask a lot of questions. There's micro VC firms. Maybe locally you can tap into those, but is that really enough? There's the big global venture firms. There's family offices. There's corporate strategic investors. There's all kinds of ways you can do this, including, through convertible debt, convertible preferred stock, KISS notes, SAFE notes, SAF notes. And it's complex because there are securities laws that regulate how you can access those pools of capital. And as much as you want to get there, you also don't want to break the law. You don't want to go to jail. Do you have enough money just to execute that strategy? Because it's not cheap. There's legal, there's marketing, there's all sorts of expenses. So it's a complex world and it's changing rapidly, and there's a lot of different menu options. But the question is, which one is right for you and which one realistically is achievable? And if you fail, what's plan B? Being a tech startup founder can be a lonely journey, but you're not alone. Actually, there's other people like you who are on a similar journey, a similar quest around the world. Maybe some in your local community, but throughout the continent of Europe and elsewhere, there are people on the same journey with all the same challenges and all the same anxiety that you have. The question is, can you get access, and are you willing to share and learn from others, your peers? Is there someone who can help facilitate that, to give you the access you need to the knowledge and the expertise and the networks in order to help you do what you need to do, but do it faster and more efficiently? Imagine that you were part of a group that was on a similar journey, and they went through a series of steps, starting with the concept and the belief that venture finance matters. It matters because venture finance is like oxygen, and if you don't have enough for your venture, you die. So if you were part of this group who realized they need the oxygen to get to the elevation that they want to go to, then within that group, you could learn a lot. You could probably share a lot. And how is that group going to operate? Because everybody's busy building their business. So who's going to operate that enterprise? It needs a facilitator. And the facilitator needs to be somebody who's been there and done that and can get people to focus on the right issues. So you need to go through that journey. You need to understand what's possible, what's feasible in the jurisdictions where you're marketing these securities, and how can you, if you're not finding what you need in the local market, get access to where you can get that financing in other markets. Again, you're not alone. There's lots of other people who have the same questions, and they're on the same journey. And through a facilitated workshop, you can get to what's known as group genius, right? Because everybody knows that through the wisdom of crowds, the crowd usually has the right answer. And that's what this is about. It's about tapping into that collective, diverse knowledge to create the right strategies and execute those strategies to help you get collectively and individually to your ideal state. Now that you are armed with the foundational knowledge of what's possible it's time to roll up your sleeves and become investor ready. What that means is no different than just cleaning up your house, making sure that you've got everything in place from a foundational perspective to make sure that you do own the intellectual property. Everybody's done what they need to do. You have the right agreements with your employees, with your consultants, with your customers. Are you incorporated at the top level in the right jurisdiction to attract the investors that you want to attract? And even if you are incorporated in the right jurisdiction, did you pick the right type of entity? All that needs to be in place. If you have sold stock already to third parties, did you do so in compliance with the relevant laws? Are the shares fully paid and non-assessable? If you are in the fortunate position of having an opportunity to close a major round of financing, would you be able to deliver a legal opinion that everything is as it should be without undue delay or expense? That's what it means to be investor ready. So you've got the foundational knowledge, you've got your house in order. You still need to create an offer. Those offers, just like if you were selling any other product or service, those offers need to be compelling. And you need to customize your offer, just as you might any product or service, to your audience. So you have this meeting with an investor. What are you going to do afterwards? You need to make the offer, and that investor needs to be able to respond to it with a yes, no, or maybe I want to negotiate. So if you have an audience with a sophisticated angel, the offer might be X. And if it's with a venture capital firm, the offer might be a little more open. Or if it's with a corporate VC, possibly it's more on the range of some strategic advantage. Now, it is true that in context, it's negotiable. Everything's negotiable. But in order for you to be able to get the money that you need, the oxygen, you do need to be able to promptly follow up and close deals. That's creating an offer that's compelling. Once you have your house in order and you have an offer or maybe several offers that are going to be customized, then you need to take that offer on the road. Deals get sold, not bought. And in order to do that, it requires a significant amount of time and frankly money in order to sell the deal. It's possible you live in a place where it has all the capital that you need. Maybe you live in Silicon Valley. But if you don't, you're probably going to have to take this offer and market it in multiple jurisdictions on a road trip, face to face. And that's a huge investment of time and money, travel expense. We're talking maybe at least 50% of the CEO's time marketing this offer over a sustained period of 3 to 6 months in order to be able to successfully tell the story, negotiate, and close the financing. I'm Brad Ferber, and I've spent my entire career as a seed investor, as an entrepreneur, and as a corporate finance lawyer, helping visionary entrepreneurs, co-founders, funders, intermediaries launch, finance, and grow ventures. And in that journey, I've been involved as an advisor and engaged on well over 150 angel and VC financings, aggregate amount exceeding $1 billion. Everything from small deals to big deals. I was hired to design, launch, and operate a university innovation center down in Sydney, Australia with a major university, and that was a lot of fun. But now what I would like to do is to share what I know with a new group of younger people who are trying to launch something, revolutionary, something visionary, something that can change the world and make it a better place. So I'm here to help you get the capital that you think you need in order to scale your venture. And if what you've heard today does resonate with you and it sounds like you, then I would encourage you to take the quiz, and based on that, you can then follow up. We can schedule a free call to talk about how I can help you get where you want to go.